Hi, I'm Matt Garoufalis, and I am the past president of the American Podiatric Medical Association and the past president of the International Federation of Podiatrists. I've been practicing in the U.S. for almost 40 years now, and I've been involved in all aspects of leadership, nationally and internationally, as well as involved in education and training in 2 different residency programs here in the United States, as well as my own private practice that entire time. I'm currently the co-chair of the Wound Care Alliance, which is a stakeholder group for wound care in the U.S. It's a policy think tank that goes to the regulatory bodies and recommends policy changes and improvements in wound care. I'm also involved in the American Board of Podiatric Medicine and serve on their international committee. I'm double board certified here in the United States in both surgery and in podiatric medicine. And one thing that I'm really very proud of is I'm also a member of the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Glasgow, which is an incredible honor, and it's a very exclusive organization, and I'm very proud to be a member of that group as well. They do a lot of educational programs that I've been involved in, and I've led several programs for them, and they help to spread the word of podiatric medicine, and it's a very interdisciplinary organization. So we are well understood by the other health professions in that organization, which is wonderful, which is where we should be in the world of medicine. Podiatry, we need to understand that all politics is local, and to get involved in what's going on in your profession, you have to start locally and understand your profession at a local level. So what governs your profession locally is important, and you need to be involved in that locally. And as you get involved locally, you begin to understand that there's a broader picture. It's larger than just local. And that's how I got involved. I got involved at a very local level very early in my career. I was pushed by my residency director to get involved in the state association. And I thought I was way too young to get involved in my 20s to get involved in that level of leadership. But it turned out to be quite fruitful, because I learned how the state association ran, and I learned how they affect things on a local level that affect me and my practice locally in my own state. As I understood how that worked and got to meet the politicians, because you have to meet the politicians and understand from their perspective, they're the ones that legislate and govern what you do. So you need to understand their point of view, and always educate them about what it is you do. You begin to understand that it's the smaller picture, the local level, and then the state level, and then there's the federal level, and then there's the international level. So starting locally, learning about how local politics and state politics affect my profession, I learned how to affect change by influencing the right people via education. So not only do you have to educate the people that govern you, you have to educate your peers, because they have to understand how their practice affects the community and what can they do in their community to affect change. So not only are we educating the politicians, the people that govern us, the bureaucrats as it were, but we have to educate our peers also so that they can all become active. So being active in your association is the most effective way to affect change or forward motion of the profession. And it starts at a very local level. So for me, it just continued to snowball, giving lectures and giving presentations, whether it's to other peers, residents, other physicians, or then to the bureaucrats and politicians that regulate what we do, about what we do and how we do it and how it affects our patients, and our patients are their constituents. And when we put it in that format, and tell them stories about what we do has an effect on their constituents, and what they do affects their constituents, And there's that connection then between the bureaucrat or the politician and me, because we are interested in the same people. They understand our position much clearer and what we're trying to do to change in our community. I prefer nail cutters as opposed to scissors, because especially in trimming the very thick onychomycotic nails, nail cutters for me give me a little bit better leverage to get them debrided. Slippers all the time. I don't think in this day and age our foot is not designed to go barefoot on the hard surfaces we have in our homes. Even if they're carpeted, having slippers on is much more better for our feet. Well, I think that's personal preference. You have a little bit more control with laces, depending on what your functionality is with the shoe gear you're wearing. However, Velcro is very easy and very simple. It does loosen up with time, and laces do break with time, of course, but I go to laces myself. Well, boy, there's a big controversy right there. I liken orthotics, and this is how I explain to my patients, kind of like prescription eyeglasses for your eyes. Would you rather have the readers that you can buy for $5 from the dime store? Those are the prefabricated off-the-shelf orthotics. Or do you have something more custom-oriented just for you, like prescription eyeglasses? If you're having foot pain, I think that the custom orthotics are definitely the way to go. Deodorant is always a good idea, especially because for many of us, we live in communities where we have to wear shoes and or socks. So the perspiration in our feet does cause some odor from time to time. So foot deodorant isn't a bad idea. If we could wear sandals the whole time, not as big of a deal. But for many of us, that's not the case. Well, I like both, actually. But I suppose wine and cheese are fine.